But when it comes to making bread right now, you need not a backup plan. You just need a plan that will coexist with what you want to do, a plan that will
support.
bridge the, yes,
You
a
need
supporting
support.
plan.
Preme, I just put my team on. I can finally justify having bling on. Ask my baby if I ever stop.
Yeah, you want to go home.
Let's
Let's start
let's
this
get this
thing.
fucking thing
Let's
going.
start this
All right,
thing.
yeah.
So, hey guys, hello. It's been for them just a week, but for us, I feel like it's been a while since we last spoke. But welcome back to another episode of the Preme Pod, a place where you can learn, laugh, grow. Great place to be. Me, I'm Jace Preme. I'm sitting here with,
I'm Rose the engineer.
and today we have I think it's a really good one for you guys. So, as always, before we jump into our topics for the day, I do want to kind of reflect on the week since we last spoke, like kind of what's been going on. So for you, man, I know like you kind of still like we both got a lot of motion right now. So for you, like what's been new since we last spoke, even if it's not motion, even if it's just more spoon shit.
I did my Kid L.
Did
More
you Kid
spoon shit.
L?
I did my Kid L.
Hell yeah.
Can't wait for that. Kid L is a good friend of mine, and
Mhm.
he's a very good guy, and he definitely looked out for me when I was on my ass.
Mhm.
And like, yeah, he's a good guy. I can't wait for that to come out.
Yeah.
So that's big, that's major, that's gonna help
Yeah,
me
for sure.
personally a lot because his platform. And I think we had a good conversation. I'll say this: whoever was in there before me blew that bitch down. And halfway through his podcast, I was like, I'm high. So I hope it's good.
Yeah.
If not, I'm gonna blame that and I'm gonna meme it to death.
Yeah, I couldn't do this high. Like I think I
Yeah.
tried one of these times, and I think we lost the episode, so that's great.
That's
but
good. Yeah, we
I couldn't-
lost it
Yeah, I couldn't do
Yeah.
that. I couldn't do that.
for sure.
Anything
Yeah,
else?
so
I mean,
but that was dope. We talked about a lot of good shit. And then I don't want to say I went viral on TikTok, but I had
Yeah.
my first
we're talking about that today too.
yeah, I had my first post like go up randomly, like
Mhm.
organically. And that's the thing about TikTok, right? Is that every post, from my limited understanding, I'm gonna study it more, but I'm kind of playing with it because I'm new to TikTok because I'm old. But like basically every post you have, it's almost like a lottery because TikTok pushes in waves. Like the thing about TikTok, like the minimum views on TikTok basically are like 250 views,
Mhm.
right? 250 views is basically zero almost, but it just pushes it out to people. And then if they like it, then it keeps going and then it steamrolls in that way. So I had my post, I just dropped it like everything else and it hit like 48,000 views and
That was dope.
it was dope.
When you first sent it, I was like, "This is." It's always like once you start getting that early traction, it's always when you sent it, I was like, "This is probably gonna go. This is gonna go." But that's dope. I'm excited for you to run the Preme Pod page too, and we can kind of do that collaboratively and kind of experiment with that.
I got to
TikTok
see
could
how
be
the
fun.
talk works, like really, because like what I'm most interested in doing all this when my bag gets better and then we unveil all the things we're doing and we really start to get rolling is I'm definitely going to deep dive study all these social medias and figure out the underworking mechanics and then provide that as a service as well because that's something I'm genuinely interested in.
Yeah, I mean, and we're gonna be having social media management, all type of shit rolling out. Like, yeah, that's gonna be exciting.
Right.
I mean, for anything else, any other developments, any other? I mean, I know you mentioned when you left last week, the car that was on fire.
Yeah, there was a car
We
on
both saw
fire.
that.
Yeah, I was driving home. This car on fire made me late. The person who lit up and died made me late to pick up my daughter. So I hope you're happy, you selfish fuck. Dying in a fire made me late.
I really hope they weren't in there. I don't think they were in
No,
there.
I don't think they were.
I really hope so.
No, I think someone just threw it out of a plane. It was I started calisthenics. I did my first workout, and I'm dying. I'm dying.
Calisthenics, man.
That my muscles hurt, and also my bones. So, and it was like, but that's one of the things where it's like we always talk about like just do the shit. It took me 4 months to just do the shit. I want to express to people as well that like we're all human beings too. Where it's like don't beat yourself up for not doing the thing. Just remember that anxiety comes from not doing. It doesn't come from doing. It comes from not doing. So it's been on my mind for 4 months, and I finally was like, you know what, fuck it, because like now my daughter goes to school very early, so I have to wake up at 6:30 in the morning. So I'm using that as an opportunity to do work done for our shit when we really start rolling out. And then use that to exercise. So, Monday through Thursday, I'm gonna drop my kid off, do my workout, do our shit, then go pick her up, and then the back half of my day will be studio sessions.
Oh yeah, that
That's
sounds like
that's the
that
idea.
sounds
I
healthy.
gotta squeeze a nap in there somehow, or just learn how to exist without sleep. But yeah, it's like, that's the thing too, is like, and I will say this, right? Is like when there's new changes in your life and new schedules and all that type of shit, it's the best thing you can do is try to find the advantage in it. Because obviously, like when I was like, oh shit, I gotta wake up at 6:30. How the fuck am I gonna do this? And I spent like 2 days thinking about that. And then it's like you find the advantage in that, which is like, oh, I have an extra 5 hours now. So what excuse have I been having? What reason have I not been working out or eating right or X, Y, and Z, or saying I don't have time? Well, now I have time. So that's not an excuse. So let's triple down and like get to it. And obviously it's gonna still be an adjustment. I'm still gonna be tired. Still gonna be a crabby little bitch. But there's in every disadvantage, the trick is to find the advantage. Because
Yeah.
within every disadvantage, there is an advantage if you look.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're religious, like that's like basically the point if you're
Right.
religious. Like, especially that was at church this week. That was like what they were talking about, like
Yeah.
knowing that this bad thing, it is a reason for it. And like now, when bad shit happens, I don't really, of course, at first like, oh shit, but now I just start to think, okay, why is this happening? That's the only thing I'm worried about. I'm not like stop, take this away. I'm like, what is this for?
You're right.
I don't want to get too ADHD. I want to get back to or what happened last week. So for me, dude, I got to move into a new place.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Dude, after the my fucking car got stolen, bro, like that shit is, I get that. I definitely get it from my mom, because like she would move whenever we would move, it would be because something just got stolen. Like when someone broke in, we moved. Someone stole the car, we moved. So that was kind of like still kind of how I was feeling. Like, I don't. I was like, yeah, that shit scared the shit out of me. But dude, like in a way better headspace now with just a lot of shit going on.
100%,
like everything is like, I feel like I would just wake up, like today I just wake up at 6:30, get out the bed, and it's like moving with a purpose. Everything I feel like I'm doing whatever the fuck I'm whatever exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So
yeah, for sure.
did that. I got a new fucking desk. She put it together for me. This shit is fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I'm done with Panera now. I'm at the cribbo. It has LED lights on that shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably have her put it up on the screen like right now, show y'all this shit so y'all can be jealous. Like it's better than your desk, I promise you. What else?
I want a desk.
It's fucking amazing. Since she put it together for me, her prize for that, I'm gonna get her one too.
Nice.
But yeah, I also
get another desk to build.
I told her like I'll help you with this one, bro. I would make you put your own desk.
Yeah.
Together. But yeah, I was actually while she was putting that together, I was drafting up this episode, so that worked out.
Yeah.
But hired some people. Nick has yet to. I haven't sent him his offer letter yet. Nick is going to be doing a lot for us. Graphic design a little bit, but mostly like with creating, helping us with this merch that we're going to be having soon. He's going to be helping us with the merch, helping us with our employee hoodies. Like you were going to get a hoodie, she's going to get
hoodies.
And this Nick is ethereal, by the way. Dylan, who's going to be our music video editor, that's going to be his only job yet. He doesn't even know it. I need to just reach back out to him and let him know that, but I decided this morning, so that's the case. So hopefully Dylan's cool with that. Dylan, I hope that's awesome. But what else? So
we got two.
And then we have three, because Nita will be another one of our video editors. She's going to start with editing the podcast. And I mean, see how far she goes. We got CapCut Pro. She's going to work with that, and then see if we can get her editing some music videos too.
Yeah.
Also going to be on the Preme media side. She's going to be starting with photography as well. So that would be cool. And Trinaire is our first hire, who she's actually the only person right now who signed her offer letter, signed her agreement. So Trinaire is hired as a photographer. She's going to be in training for videography as well. But I'm excited to have her. She's amazing at concert photography. I'll try to have Nita throw some of her pictures up on the screen now.
Yeah.
She's dope with the concert photography. She shot for Big Sean. She shot for what's the other? Geez, I shouldn't even
Sean.
I think Mario, I believe. A few big artists who came to the Detroit. She had shot and got shout outs from them. She's dope. That's dope.
So yeah.
I'm excited to work with her. She also took my headshots that are on a lot of my on my professional emails on LinkedIn and stuff. So y'all definitely have to work with her outside of stuff. She's dope. But yes, it sounds like it's been a pretty. I also ordered an Adderall substitute.
Which would be what?
I hope it's not one of those things where it's like in a few years, you're entitled to this if you took this. But it looks good.
No
bro.
wonder my ears are melting.
But you fuck with Marquise. You fuck with Keith, who was on it. He the one who
Yes.
recommended it. So
Okay.
and he bought it too. So I'm gonna try it out. It's basically like it has a lot of things. It just is like legal, like over the counter Adderall. Basically,
Okay.
It's like natural. Like the things that is in Adderall, is some of it is natural shit. I'm not gonna talk about it like I know what the fuck it is for real.
Yeah.
Someone else referred it to me. I trust his judgment. Okay, and it looks good. I went to the site. Other people have done it. Floyd Mayweather has done it, so that means I should do it too, right?
Yeah, he's a champion.
They jump off.
You should do
bridges, I
everything
it
he
too.
does.
That's what I'm on.
Yeah,
But,
yeah. You should be a champion boxer.
yeah, so we're gonna see if I get. We're gonna see how much work I get after.
Yeah, let me know how that goes.
Yeah, I will. So awesome. Let's jump into boom. And today's we're gonna talk about a little bit about TikTok. Like you said, we went viral. We're gonna kind of jump into more of that, get diving in a little bit deeper into that. What it means to be a man. So like in both of our respective ages, what does that mean like at right now in our walks of life? And then the honeymoon phase of entrepreneurship, which some people might not know about. And if you don't, we'll kind of jump into that for you. But so like all the kind of things we're gonna touch on today, just so you know, and just because I know y'all haven't really shared this with you at all. We're gonna talk about how to go viral on TikTok, target audience do's and don'ts as far as TikTok goes. We'll talk about what manhood means to each of us in our respective ages right now. And then again, breaking down what the honeymoon phase of entrepreneurship is and like our experiences with it, how to get out of it. So if you at this point have tuned in on accident, you should probably just lock in. I say this with nothing but humility to anyone listening or watching. But if you're a male entrepreneur and you're struggling with, finding your identity, getting your bread up, right, getting your bag or getting your business or your music career off the ground, you honestly you can't afford to miss this discussion. Is going to be really good. First, let's start easy though, before we jump into like the existential crises and shit. TikTok, right?
Yeah.
In target audience. You went viral on this TikTok. You kind of walk me through first, just so everyone knows, because when people talk about going viral, when people I've heard people who say I don't want to be a influencer, have to document everything I do to go viral and this and that and the third. How long did it take you to make that video?
Oh, like the amount of time to hold the button. It was,
You want to take it?
Yes. Because I mean, my whole thesis with everything is just I just had the thought. I don't remember exactly, the way my brain works, like how I get deep in philosophy or whatever. That's just how my brain goes. So like the idea with the spoon thing was just, I don't know exactly where it came. I was holding it. Oh, I had a spoon. I was doing the dishes and then I had it. The water cranked and then water was splashing everywhere. And then for some reason I just pieced that.
And you were like, wait,
kind of
do that again, water.
Kind of. Yeah. But I was like, and I even said it in the video. I was like, this is either a good or terrible analogy, but here we go. Like whatever. And so it's like my style of shit is just, if I have a thought, I'll say it. That's what worked for me with Instagram too. Right. And to me, it's like, it's not about necessarily going viral. It's about keep shooting your shot and making valuable content. Here's the thing is that the content is first. Like the subject matter is first, and then everything else is to enhance people clicking on it. But if they click on it and it doesn't fulfill or meet their expectations, or if it's clickbait, then it's not going to last, because you could get a lot of views, but you won't get a lot of engagement. You won't get a lot of shares. So with that, it was just like, that was just a thought I had in my head. So I'm going to do it. And then whatever I shit out of my mouth, was good. I guess it resonated. It's one of those things where it's like, it
made sense.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing about that spoon, and I'm going to say it right here, I'm going to post it on this TikTok too, is everyone identified with the spoon. Like the people who are like, what if you're a bucket, bro? I'm a bucket. I could hold all the water. Should I explain the TikTok? So people get context.
We'll put it up on the screen, let them watch it.
So basically it's like I had a spoon and it was the faucet. And basically I was saying, I cranked the pressure and I held the spoon under and there was water splashing around. And I basically said, in life, the goal is to fill up the spoon. And if you add too much pressure on top of the spoon and go full force, then it won't fill up because it bounces off. So then I put the pressure on the faucet, the lightest stream possible. So it was coming in and actually filling the spoon. And I was like, if you, maybe concentrated, something to the effect of, slow, concentrated pressure over time will get you what you want instead of cranking that shit and having all of it go everywhere, because that doesn't fill up the spoon. It just makes a big mess, right? So the thing is, like with people, it obviously resonated with people, right? For whatever reason. Well, I know the reason because it was true, but a lot of people identified with them as the spoon, and that's not what it was. It's you're the water, you're not the spoon. So someone's like, well, what if I'm a bucket?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what you're doing when you say what you're, because here's the analogy, right? Is like the spoon is the goal. So it's like, okay, you get a bucket, that becomes a crazy lofty goal, right? So it's like, yeah, you could
Now you're
keep,
trying to fill the bucket,
huh?
Because the spoon is
The spoon is the goal. So it's like,
Yeah.
so what you're doing is the spoon is like the important thing,
Mm.
right? And it's like what you're doing when you get a bucket is you're just creating more space,
right.
because if the objective is to fill it up, now it takes, 100 times more water to fill up that bucket. It's going to take a lot more time with a lot more energy, and you're going to crash out. So it's like getting a bucket isn't the good idea if the goal, because I said in the video, the goal is to fill up the spoon. That has nothing to do with a fucking bucket. And you could even make that as an analogy about, like, the spoon is the actual important things in life.
Right.
And instead of trying to fill the spoon, you're going and getting another thing to fill it up instead of concentrating on what's important, which is the spoon. The spoon is the goal.
Right.
It's not the fucking bucket. The bucket doesn't exist, but people do that in their life where it's like, okay, let's use this as an example. I want to be successful. I want to be rich. I want to make $1 million. Right. But then you keep going out and you keep prolonging things with shit that, like, instead of getting straight to the bag, which would be build a skill, go find like mentorship that can amplify this skill. And then, let's use sales, I guess. It's like you learn how to sell, find someone who will allow you to sell, and then, work really hard in that space, learn the skill set, and then get to selling. Mm-hmm. That's it. Right. Whereas people will be like, I want to make $1 million. Right. So it's like, so I'm going to learn sales, but then I'm going to learn marketing, but then I'm going to learn branding, but then I'm going to learn this, and then I'm going to learn that. And then all you're doing, it's like, yeah, you're going super hard. You're up 20 hours a day, like researching or whatever. And maybe you're doing all these things, but it's like, the point is to fill up the spoon. Like, why are you doing all of these extra things? So the whole purpose of that is, obviously, it's work smarter, not harder is the idea, right. But it's, you are the water. You're not the instrument, because people in their lives, they try to change the instrument. They try to take the world and make it what they want it to be. And it's like, but the goal is still a spoon. It's like, it doesn't matter. You can throw the spoon away, but then you'll never fill the spoon. You could fill an entire bucket up, but you'll never fill the spoon. The goal is to fill the spoon. What are you doing? Fill the fucking spoon. The spoon gang. Shout out spoon gang. But that's the thing, right? Is like, yeah, people do, people really do everything except what they're supposed to do. Because here's the thing too. It's like, there's a million ways to do it wrong, and a lot of times only one way to do it right. Yeah.
And that, man,
sort of. Oof. We could get there's an argument to be made against that, but for the purposes of what that is, you know what I mean?
No, like I see a lot of myself earlier this year in that statement you're saying when it comes to doing, like, just focus on a lot of different things. Like bread was like you we've been talking, it's like bread is the goal, bread. And I'm like, but I need this and I need to do that. And you're just like, bro, just get bread, and that's gonna fix everything. And that's exactly what getting bread did. And I spent a lot of time this year focusing on a lot of different things I was into. But yeah, I mean, you got to really know what you're supposed to be doing. And if you don't know, then that's when you need to get mentorship and get help, because there's even mentors who help you find your purpose. Like, I can help you, like, if you have ADHD, if you have social anxiety and depression, like I resonate with you guys and I can help you find purpose. But like, I'm not going to just guarantee I can find everyone's purpose, but like for people like that who are kind of, if I can relate to you, like if I jump on a call and I know you, then okay, I can help you kind of find what you're supposed to be doing, because a lot of times it's in your daily life. It's like, but it's like, like what are your hobbies? Because some people don't know what they're supposed to be doing. Like, what is my music?
We talked about this a lot on Kid L, and I wish I had the actual answer for the purpose. And I can't wait to get that interview back, because I don't know how it's going to be, because of the drugs that were already in the room. But
I mean, I really feel like your purpose is that thing, because whenever I've helped a lot of people, like, I don't know if they started doing it, went down that path, but I'm like, okay, what because I always start with your hobbies because they're like, I don't know what purpose. What are your hobbies?
Right.
Well, I do this, I do that. I garden. And I'm like, okay, how do you feel about gardening? I love it. It's like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, but I can't make a career out of that.
Well, that's
Why?
obviously, yeah. So I would say it's like passion leads to purpose, right? And so what is the thing that you keep thinking about and getting drawn to?
Right.
Because that is always in someone's head, and that doesn't have to be a businessman. Because we, on this type of shit with this entrepreneurship, everyone thinks they need to be like $1 million entrepreneur, big dick swinging, sell shit, right? And that might not be you. You might be genuinely an artist, and that gives you fulfillment, and you can allow other people to be entrepreneur or whatever. So it's like you have to kind of follow your purpose. And I'm in the middle of reforming mine. We just talked about this before this was on. But it's like you walk along the path. You walk along the path of where the thing you can't leave alone, or the thing that gives you a feeling, right? And you just keep pulling that thread. So like I found music through playing drums, which led me to this podcast.
Right.
So me starting drums led to finding out that my true fulfillment purpose, I feel is my purpose is to like talk to people, coach people, and get them mentally right, because that's what gives me the most joy. But it started with drums. I'll give a very short version. I started playing drums, doing music. My band broke up, so I started writing because I really liked rap, and I used writing as a way to get my thoughts out. That rap, I started getting good at it. That led to me continuing to do it for years and years, which led to me making beats, which led to me going to school for engineering, which led to me getting an internship at a studio, which led to me finding out I was Jordan at engineering. All of this time, I still wanted to rap. So the beats, the beats, the engineering, that was to serve me as a rapper. Found out that I don't really care about rapping. What I really wanted out of rapping was to just get shit out of my head. And then when I found my spot with engineering, it kind of filled that gap because I was helping other people, right? So the engineering is a way for me to help other people serve their art, which is what a good engineer does, by the way, side note. And then that led to, now I have to promote Bank Rose as a business. So how am I going to promote Bank Rose as a business? Well, I'm going to just tell people all the things I know about rap, get on camera, shoot it, and then people are giving me attention. Now I'm talking, and it's working easier for me than it is other people because of what I'm saying, because of who I am, right? And then that led to, people listen to what I say, and it's helping them.
Yes.
Right. And then it's beyond the engineering. The engineering is that. So, and then it led to this, which is, and now over the next 3 to 5 years, I will be probably getting away from engineering unless it's something I want to do, and getting maybe not pure, but definitely more into coaching, definitely more into mindset, in the shit we got going on. And that's how God works too, bro, because it's like your blessing. One of the first people you called, if not the first person you called, was me. And you're like, bang, touchdown, we're doing this. And you forced me.
I mean that shit.
No, you did. And you forced me into it, basically. But it's like, cool, right? It's like, so that's how that worked. But it's like, but again, I gave that whole shit to say, I played drums. When I picked up drumsticks and hit the snare for the first time, something happened to me that I can't articulate, but I was like, I like this. And if you want to talk about ADD, right, is like, I can't focus on shit. I was very insecure because I was terrible in school. I always, even when I was 14, felt like school was pointless. Why am I here?
Yep.
Right? Like, why am I listening to this fucking bozo? This fucking
Dude
stupid
can't even tie his tie fucking right.
Yeah, bro.
Like, what are you doing?
Like, what are you doing? Teaching me about history, dumbass bitch. So, whatever. But I always felt school was a waste of time. I'm not a scholar in that sense. It's, I'm not super opposed to school, but for me, it didn't work. So, and then both my parents are teachers. So that was great.
That made you hate it more.
Well, that was great at home, because my mom would literally say shit like, if you're not successful in school, you'll die. Not literally. She's like, if you're not successful in school, then you'll have you'll have a terrible life. No, for real. And it's like, she comes from a different generation, whatever. I'm not even going to get into that. That's fine. But it's like, that wasn't me. And so I picked up drumsticks, hit it, and I was like, oh, this is something. And then the kid who couldn't focus on anything, somehow, the kid who couldn't focus on anything, somehow managed to get out of school, come home, play drums 8 hours a fucking day, every day, somehow now had the ability to focus. You know what I'm saying? That's what engineering does for me. That's what writing does for me. You know what I mean? And I've said it before. I stole this. I forgot who said it, but it's not peace of mind. It's peace from mind. And it's the thing that takes your brain and automatically puts focus on it. That when you find that, that's your purpose. And a lot of people are like, well, I haven't found that. Then the only option is to keep doing the shit you always wanted. But I don't know if I'll be shut the fuck up. Fuck that. Stop the sentence. Stop the sentence. You said I want to mountain climb. There's nothing beyond that. Go fucking do that in whatever capacity you're able to do. Right? Do that and figure that out, and then do that until you don't feel like doing it anymore. Flat out. And then you get in, and then you meet other people who also mountain climb. Like, that shit is not for me. Mountain climbers, shout out to the mountain climbers. You're fucking insane people.
My mentor Darren is a fucking mountain climber.
Yeah, Darren,
I can't wait to have this nigga on here,
bro. Darren is an insane person. Fuck that shit. It's cold and it hurts to do that.
He does it like regulated, like in those places where it's not cold, like you're in like a YMCA type shit. Well, I don't know if he does it like real shit, but he just does it like, you know.
I mean, I kind of get that, but like
for like the exercise.
Yeah. Woo. I mean, it's kind of fun, but I'm scared of heights, and also fuck that.
Yeah.
So that's not for me. So that's not for me. You know, that's not for me. So it's like, but that it doesn't matter that it's not for me. If that's for you, that's for you. And that, again, that's purpose. And it's like, as you do the thing you enjoy, 100% there's a way to monetize it, but you just follow that. And then as you walk that line, like I said, I started with drums. And I thought I was going to be a drummer in a band, like a famous drummer in a band. And now I'm going to be basically a fucking life coach.
How be Alex Hermosi?
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, how the fuck? But it's like, look, you just keep walking the path and follow your feeling, and it doesn't get any more complicated than that. It's like, and you're gonna fuck up and you're gonna veer off the path, and that's fine. You're gonna lose interest in things you loved before because you change as a person. Just don't let life beat the spark out of you. Like, if you're in a place and you're unhappy where you are and you don't have fulfillment and you want to, you know, and you're like, fuck life, basically, there's no way out. That's an indication that you need to take inventory of your work life, your home life, and your personal life, and figure out where the flaw is within that. Because a lot of people don't do anything creative, and I think creativity is necessary to allow whatever voice you have to speak. Even if you think your voice is not relevant, everyone's voice is relevant. Everyone has a story to tell. Even if you think you're not interesting, even if you're like a boring, run-of-the-mill, same life as everybody else, it's not the same life. You have different experiences, even in the micro sense, right? And it's like, but if you're genuinely happy and you have purpose and fulfillment and you don't have these thoughts, right, then it's like you're winning. And it doesn't matter what anybody says about anything. Right. It's like, and I champion the person who is, you know, 9 to 5, home on weekends, takes care of his kids. His identity is being a father, and he's just raising his kids, and he has a beer and he watches the game, and he's got a good core group of friends. And it's like, I'm not telling that guy, you need to go out and paint. Right. You need to go out and mountain climb. Cause it's like, no, bro, like if you have fulfillment, and obviously here's another thing. And I know I keep rambling, we'll get to it, but it's like, that doesn't mean your life will be perfect. And that does not mean that there will not be struggles. As soon as you walk down your path, there will be many, many struggles. Things will never be perfect. But that's why, again, like the term is, you stick to the root. Yeah. What replenishes you? What is in the soil? What is in your soil that replenishes you?
Yeah, because I had like the opposite problem there. I know a lot of people struggle with finding their purpose. And then it's like, and I like that I kind of cut you off there, because that's right where I wanted to come in with. That's my problem, is like, now that you found purpose, it's now knowing it's your purpose and not letting the other people tell you that's not your purpose. Because like I mean,
yeah,
very early I said I wanted to make music. I mean, at like 8 years old, and then I was saying, everybody, what you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a rapper. I want to make music. Oh, yeah. Do not say that.
Did you say finance?
Like, no, do not. And it was like, for so long, that was crazy. Like, it was hard to like, and that's a big reason. So I blame it on, I remember I talked about this on the podcast. I blame like people at Renaissance. I'm like, man, nobody knew me as the rapper and all that. And it's like, even when I go out now, like when people ask me what I do, music never comes up.
Yeah.
Because it's such a reaction. And it's like, people know me as the businessman. I do this, I do that. You're always on shit. And everybody's like, oh, you do music? And I'm
right.
Like,
no, but that's fine though.
You know, it's hard, you know, because people like to, it's just, now I finally grown to now I'm comfortable in it, because now I'm like, I only feel comfortable with it. What if I have bread? Because it's like if you are broke and you're saying you want to be a musician, everyone's looking at you like shit. But if like I'm doing very well, I got the Beamer, I'm feeling good. And I'm like, I do music. I'm like, well, it must be working, you know?
Right.
So it's a different type of thing
For sure.
But yeah, that was like my struggle because it was like with music. Whenever you find out if music is your purpose to do that, once you find that out, the struggle is like the execution part because now you have to go like you said you have to leave your spoon here. Music is the spoon, you got to leave it here and you have to go fill a bucket. My bucket was sales and now you have to pour that bucket into the damn spoon because you need damn near music is damn near a bucket, bro. Everything else can be a spoon. Music is a fucking bucket because you need a lot to blow up with music. So you gonna need to leave your bucket actually here and then go get that spoon and then start putting shit into your bucket, which is music, because that's what once I tried music, like I was trying to just blow up for like I think 2 or 3 years, like since high school to like 21, I tried to just blow up from music, posting and just saying, I'm dope, so it's gonna catch on. No, it wasn't working. I think you had asked about this before. I got shadow banned and I grew my Instagram naturally to like 25K. Then I took Jason's course. This is the only thing bad because this is something I think you wanted to talk about and I think you forgot. And I just want to let you know right now from my personal page. This is the only thing from Jason's course that I took that just backfired because at the time no one knew about shadow banning. This was like very early with Instagram shit. And his course was like just buy followers, like because every single fucking if you go to if you follow Jansport, we have a song called Jansport, but you follow the backpack page Jansport, they have probably like so many followers. You know that not over 50K people follow the backpack brand. It didn't happen. They bought those. All businesses buy followers, and that's where I messed it up. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I don't think anyone should buy followers nowadays. Like that was the kind of the thing back in the day. But if like that's something you're even thinking about, businesses, you're not. If you want to get natural engagement, no, but like just your regular business page.
Let's give the buy followers theory. Let's lay that out. Okay. This is true. Okay. Money attracts money. True. Popularity attracts popularity. Right. So buying followers makes it look like you have that shit. Right. That's the argument for it. And that is true. Okay.
Yeah.
From a thesis perspective, though, you're trying to attract people by pretending you have success when the real way to get success is providing value. So you're sitting here trying to fake that you have value when the real goal is to provide value. So instead of spending time faking value, spend the time thinking about the value. So we'll go back to me and my TikTok. I'm not buying fake followers at all, right? Obviously, I hate that shit. Always fucking hated that shit. I think it's stupid. And it hurts you in the long run because it makes you weak. Basically, it could hurt. No, you. Like you can make a bet. Listen,
every celebrity, if you can put someone's into a fake follower thing, and it will tell you almost every celebrity has at least 30% fake followers that their artists.
Right. So okay. So
you're engaged. You just have to make sure that because you might get shadow banned. So you just need to make sure that you're doing your reels and you're doing shit like that. But the thing about anything, because like even if you're wearing people who wear fake designer, there are a lot of people who wear fake designer that no one would know because they at least have something real on that know it's real. Well, so it's just about if you're gonna do that, you have to just keep up. Everything needs to match.
So okay, let me give you the dark side tactic that actually works. If you have a zero account, don't buy fake followers.
I mean, never from zero, ever.
If you're going to do it, you have to have some motion and then you pad it. It's like a padded bra.
Yes.
It's an enhancer, right? Yes. It just pumps the numbers a little bit, right? But don't be the dumbass that goes from 0 followers and you have 10K and every picture gets 1 fucking like.
Yeah.
And because then what you're doing is you're buying 10K and then you're buying fake views and then you're buying fake likes and then you're buying fake comments and your whole shit is fake. And here's the thing, right? You could get off that way. You can make money that way, right? But as soon as people buy your product, if you didn't build that organically, you more than likely, you do not know what it takes to be at the level of someone who genuinely has, let's say 100K. You haven't gone through the shit to provide the actual value to the people who are giving you money. So you can jug people, you can get off, you can basically scam people. So look, dark side shit. If you need to make a quick bag, I would say do that over going in the streets selling dope, pimping hoes and doing that shit, right? That to me is a better way of going. It for all my street dudes who watch this, right? But it's like, it's like if you want to talk about less bad shit, fine. But if you want to be here for a long time and play at a professional level and be LeBron and stay every season and dominate, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No retention when you do things like that. Only do things like you have to, like most people, like most of the celebrities. So when I said that, I know that was kind of like that would be like a clickbaity thing. All celebrities buy fake followers. Most of them buy it once they already have like 100K. So now you're buying, 500K. Now they're at 600K.
You're padding your audience.
They usually buy, and I've studied this a lot because like after Jason kind of showed me, I studied this a lot. Most of those celebrities, they buy followers after a big event happens. So now it makes sense. So they go on tour, they buy followers. So now it's like, oh, she just went on tour. It makes sense. So like they obviously do that in a strategic way. Ariana, I think Ariana Grande has like the most fake followers. I think it was like Ariana Grande, the Kardashians definitely all have a lot of fake followers. If you look at up, Miley Cyrus has a lot. You can just put anyone's at into the shit and you'll see the shit, So pretty dope shit that I was learning. But.
So we don't do that here. And
not anymore.
Like listen, right. So listen, with the shit we got going on, like
the Preme Pod will be a completely natural page.
Yeah.
You guys get to watch it grow from.
And my page, if you look at my page, right, I'm not going to say shit about Bankroads because I'm not affiliated with that anymore, right? But anything that I'm affiliated with directly, it doesn't have fake shit. And because I would rather watch, this is my value. I want to show everybody from start to finish what it takes. And if I don't get a big client because we don't have the numbers, then I will earn them over time. I'm not worried about that necessarily because the value we provide will be worth it. And it is worth it. Like my value compared to my follower count at 700 followers on Instagram roughly is like, I should be at 70,000 followers. The value I'm providing flat the fuck out. And I know that because Kid L has 60 and I'm slightly better than him. No, I'm just playing. I like to hoe him a little bit. No, but really like, it's like the people who have done it give me flowers, right?
Yeah,
and it's
no,
like,
for sure.
And it's like, so anyway, but it's like, I understand the value I'm providing, but anyway, this isn't to say that I'm the shit or anything, but it's like, I don't do that shit. I do everything. We need to figure out what is your value and then enhance your value, not make it look like you have value and enhance the lie. That I'm not with that shit at all. Because I want genuine, organic, real people who really fuck with whatever the fuck you have going on, who really believe in your vision, who really buy into your story, who are really people that are like you, that will put money in your pocket and allow you to be a creative person. I'm not going to finesse people. I just simply won't do it. I will be broke before I do that. I will be broke before I finesse because I don't believe in it. Right. So anyway, that's my moral high ground. But
I play the dark side with, I play the dark side with sales. I play the dark side with finessing. I've played the dark side with everything. So like, I know what everything is and how you feel after, I played, because like, I can't wait to like, have a documentary. I feel like at the end of my life, that'll be possible. But like, I've had to learn a lot of stuff I learned through doing completely. So it's even weird me with even her, how I and when I say her, I my fiance guys, how I was talking to her the other day, how I expect her to, I say something, just do that. But I don't even learn that way. I have to go and get my fucking head broken off. To actually, okay. So, that's deep because now it's like, even if it can get you a lot of money, now I know, I mean, not to say I've just been like, not that I've scammed, but I've worked for people who scam people. I've been scammed a lot. So it's like, it's,
well, the thing about coaching that, and I really want to emphasize this, I'm going into this, and this is something we'll have to deal with because this is all new territory for me. But it's like a lot of people.
It's new territory as in this context, but not new territory as you coaching. You've been coaching for years.
No, for sure that. I mean, in the sense of like monetizing.
That's for
them,
because I know you're so modest, but that's for them. So you don't.
No. In the sense of how to make people comfortable with buying it, and me feeling like I need to, whatever you're paying, I want to give you that value genuinely, right? Because there's a lot of fake, bro. Every time I see an ad, it's like, stop. Do you need more fish? Well, I'm a fisherman, and I like, can type shit. And it's like,
I can't wait for our ads. Our ads are gonna, every time I see those ads, I take notes because mine is just, I'm just going to talk to you like, hey, like, is this and this happening? Like, I'm not going to just all take it away, but let's see if we can help. Like, let's just help you figure out what you're going through. If it doesn't work out, we'll figure out a way that works for both parties. I'm not just going to refund you everything, but okay, if you feel like you only got this much value, let's work on something. Like I even have, hopefully I can get needed to show this. There was a client that I was working for. Stuff didn't work out. I have a bunch of success stories, but even this client, stuff didn't work out. I can show you, I can put it on the screen. I wired him $6,500 back. That in our contract said I did not have to do it all.
Well, that's good business. You know? That's good business.
And then he was like, hopefully, and he was like, I want to work again. In the future, it didn't work out this time, but in the future we can try it again. I'm like, for sure.
Well, it's very we have to be very clear about what the value proposition is, and then fulfill that value proposition. And some people, that's just the nature of business. Though some people will feel like they didn't get anything out of it, whether it's our fault or theirs. But at the end of the day, it's like it's getting to a point where the value we provide is worth more than the money. I like to price things slightly under the value, like generally speaking. So like I charge $50 an hour for studio time, or $35 an hour if you pay in full. And so I'll just say 50. I charge $50 an hour for studio time. I know I'm worth 75, but I charge 50 because when you come in and pay the 50, you're like, holy fuck. Because I'm that good, right?
Yeah, so it's
like over delivering, and then that's you get the repeat, business. Right? And it's like, and it's like I could probably push up a little bit, maybe to like 60 or whatever. But it's like, but I want that gap in there so that they feel the value, and then as you go, it's like you just scale. And then now part of my value is going to be in my platform that we're building now, obviously, and I can roll that into price and whatever. But like, yeah, the value we provide has to be like you have to feel like you're getting what you're paying for. And the thing about all these, like, there's so many, any asshole can run an ad and say he did anything.
Yeah.
And have a course that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's the waters we're getting into. So then it's like, how do you build, trust in the public? Right. And fundamentally, that's why we're doing this podcast. So it's like,
so that they can really kind of see inside.
You can see who we are. Cause like really, bro, I get fired up about that fake shit. I am not with that shit at all. I will struggle with you for 4 years and do it the right way before I buy one fake follower, bro.
Yeah.
Here's the thing too, not to get too sidetracked, but the thing about when you buy fake followers, I want your engagement to be pure, because I want to know that when you're posting, what is the actual engagement? Because you learn from these things. It's like, oh, this didn't resonate. Like with my spoon post, it's like, oh, that went up. Do more of those. If you're just buying fake shit, it's like you can't really tell, or it distract because you're like faking, obviously, whatever, but it's like
it's hard to know. And you might even believe the lies yourself. Now you thinking you pop it, and now you go. And Russ, I know you know Russ. Russ was talking about that, how these guys, honestly fake themselves out, and now that they didn't book the whole show, and now it's the arena is like it's just the people in the front. It's just 1/4 field, because you even tricked yourself into thinking all those fake streams you bought, all those fake followers, all that shit was real,
right?
And now you just got that little circle that's nothing. Shit.
So it's like, and at the end of the day, like, guys, it's like, don't feed your ego, feed your spirit. That follower number doesn't matter. That engagement number matters, and that engagement number is directly related to the value you're providing the ecosystem and whatever that is. That's the number that matters. So for me, for example, I have 675 followers on Instagram. Nice. Not a lot, but my posts, my pictures, they average around like 50 to 80 likes. My
hella comments.
My story gets like between like 80 and 120 people like in my story, so that's very high engagement.
Yeah, you have a nice blend,
right? Because these are real people. These are real people that are actually engaging with me, and it's like, so that follower number, it's like, outside looking in, it's like, oh, he's not shit, but guess what? I am the shit. And then it's like all those people those 100 people that are supporting me now, you build off that. That's my community. That's my community. And you take care of your community, and then that makes more people want to come into your community. And I'm doing it in real time. The entire purpose of my Instagram is to show my hustle in real time. That's why I show the negative shit. That's why I showed my studio looked like a Russian prison. That's why everything was fucked up. You know what I mean? And now it's building, and people can literally see it. People can see on my first post, I was like chubbier, and then I lost 10 pounds. My studio was fucked up.
Going up in every way, bro.
That's what I'm saying. But it's like, I'm documenting that, because a lot of people are like, I'm going to wait to do this until I'm on. It's like, no, show everyone all of the bad shit that's happening as you're doing it, because they will have respect for you, and they can say shit like, I was there when he had 100 followers. I was there when he had 200 followers. That's bringing people in on your journey, showing your narrative, and then providing value. You know,
That goes back to
obviously
your community thing.
community, and obviously I had a cheat code because the thing about Bank Rose is I walked away from that and they had roughly like 9,000 followers when I left. And I built that, I'm assuming, all the way, because again, it's like I don't really know, because I wasn't the only one with access to that page. So I don't know if all those followers are real. They might have hoodwinked
Yeah,
me.
because you said they had what, 7,000 when you left, or 9,000?
9,000. I mean, they have 10.5. They 100% bought fake followers. I don't even give a fuck. Y'all can do whatever you want to
do as they say.
You can do whatever you want to do to me with that information. Not like people don't fucking know and can't tell because people aren't stupid. But yeah, no, I mean, really, the second I left, they hit the button on that, you know. But anyway,
I would say it can be easy to tell just by scrolling and just looking at their feed.
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here because there's a very huge urge to just rag on it, but I'm not gonna do that.
I mean, I'm not ragging. I mean, it's just like, because I have, for in the past, like I said, like when I watched this course, I'm like, oh, I want to do this. I'm like, oh, but I didn't know all the ramifications. So
well, there's very good arguments for it, and again, that's why I gave the dark side theory, just so people understand that it's like, I'm not saying that it doesn't work, but
you have to know, you have to be intentional about it, because it works depending on what you're trying to do.
Well, it works.
Not if you're trying to build something from scratch, from the ground up.
No, not if you're trying to build anything long term.
Depends on your goal with it. Because like my Preme consulting page, I grew that, I believe, to like 5K. And then after that, I pulled the trigger with that. I think I grew that page to 5K by the time I was seeing Jason's course. And my page was at 25K by the time I saw Jason's course. And that's when I pulled the trigger on that. For Preme consulting, that's going to work forever. It's just a business page. It's like those business pages, almost every business page, that's what they do. You just do it once you get to a certain point. That page was already built with a bunch of people who had done photo shoots and things like that for me. Because before, my actual Preme consulting page, now it was my Preme visuals page before. And that page I got to, like, I think at least 5K. I did it for like 3 years.
I would even argue never do it.
Never do it. Like at this point, no. Now we know what. I'm talking before we knew that you get shadow banned. We thought when it first started,
even if you didn't,
we didn't even know that.
Listen, even if you didn't get,
we thought they would be real. I thought they were saying this will be real people, and they're going to comment on it. Like they was like, right. They weren't saying it like it were bots. They were saying we can do this. We can get you people, and they're going to be commenting. And Jason, I don't even think Jason knew, because not that Jason Wojo, because he had also experimented with that too, and they got his Instagram shut down, and that was our main source of like ads. Yeah. So it was like shitty, because Instagram don't like that shit either.
Fuck no.
So like when he did that had fucked us too, and I think they also learned, okay, now we have to go a different route. So it's like it was once that like touched down, once they figured out how to do that, everybody was scrambling, because they're like, oh, I mean, people do like big numbers, but now it's like when you look at longevity, it is more about resonating with someone in their soul, as opposed to if you even someone who will work with you just because you have more, because you're more famous, you don't want that client probably, because that means the moment you fall off, they're gone. You want someone who wants you because of who you are, because that's why I'm here with you.
That's what happened to me at Bank Rose, because bro, literally 80% of the people I knew stopped talking to me. Stopped talking to me, waited, and now they're all coming back. Man. And they're gonna get waxed. Yeah. No, for real. It's like, because now I know there's very specific people who I know 100% fuck with me. Yeah. 100%. And I know who they are now. And that's the advantage. But anyway, this isn't about that. But it's like, yes, there are certain people who only fuck with you because of what you have.
Oh, right? Yeah, no.
And it's like, so again, it's like you can buy the fake followers and shit, and you can get short-term money, and you could even pad your audience with it. I would still suggest not doing that.
Yeah, not doing it, because it's gonna. If you do it on one page and have one page without it, and you're gonna see the difference. So if you want to try it out, because a lot of people
look remove, because you keep thinking about it in the context of algorithm and shadow banning. I'm talking about raw numbers and actually getting the data back that is required to grow.
That's what I'm saying. Make sure you have your page where you can actually look at like a page that you can see grow, because otherwise, actually, you know what? Don't try it. Just don't do it at all. Like you said, don't do it at all. It's just, I know a lot of people do it and can use it, but I guess the better thing is just to not to do it.
No, because
you're gonna be better off regardless.
Well, again, it's like,
as long as you're a hard worker.
Yeah, but hard worker. No, but here's the thing: when this data comes in, right? Don't pad it. Let it come in and just face the fact that maybe this content that you had wasn't it, because all of this data coming in is telling you, the market is telling you authentically, genuinely,
we don't fuck with you,
right? No, for real. And and within that negativity is the answer. Yeah. Right. Where it's like, you do all this content, you think, Right. And now you can't adjust. You get all this data. Why is Germany fucking with me? If you pad your shit, even if that strategy works, if you pad your shit, now all of a sudden you don't know where the numbers come from because you can't differentiate between this and this.
Fuck up your analytics
and then
when you do that.
right. And then when it comes in, it's like you have these, now you're not paying attention to what really works. It's like, because now it's padded, because something that could genuinely be a 50% increase with a 50% value that really truly resonates with the heart of people now is getting swamped through the surface because everything else is getting raised up, and you don't know exactly through the analytics, through the responses, through the comments, what is actually real and what is not. You need it to come in, and you need it, like, again, going back to the spoon shit, right? It's like, I hit something that resonated with people. So now I know, at the very least, because what that did for me was say, oh, the thing that I did, that just validated the thing that I did is going to work again here.
Right.
So now I'm just going to keep doing that and find ways to do that. Now, if I'm faking it, then it's like everything goes up and my analytics are skewed. Like, take away the shadow banning, take away the repercussions. You need that data so that the market can tell you what they want. And when the market tells you what you want, you can make that adjustment. And that's how you make real long-term big boy money.
Yeah, monetization.
Right. Instead of finessing people out of their dollars because they think you're somebody. Actually be somebody of value instead of pretending to be someone of value, because for everything that I just said, that's how you become someone of value and not just look like you're someone of value. All of these things need to come in so you can adjust and do it correctly and learn. Right. And that's where we come in to be like, oh, this is what you did. Because a lot of things happen and you don't know. And we have ideas that we could test, different type of shit. Right. And it's like, that's where we come in to help you continue that, or find the voice, or find the value if you don't know the value. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we do.
That's what we do.
You know what I mean? So it's like, so fuck all that fake shit.
Man, fuck the fake shit, bro. I love that.
Flat the fuck out.
And it's like, I hadn't even planned to talk about fake followers today, but I love that we kind of got into
that
was beautiful.
I am aggressive on that topic. I don't give a fuck.
And I kind of wanted to, like, before we kind of get into being a man, because that's gonna be a doozy. But I want to get into something that you had said a while ago. I remember I wrote it down when we were talking about kind of talking about your clientele, because I'm talking, a lot of things. As you guys know, I got into high ticket sales. That's how I'm kind of gonna be funding. I'm funding kind of everything through me doing high ticket sales and like mastering that first. And now I'm coming back to music, which I guess.
Thanks for giving me a job, by the way.
For sure. And it's like, I guess that's what I was going to kind of explain before I even get here. Like, I was going to kind of give you and like explain what I meant when I was kind of doing that analogy with the bucket and everything with music. Cause it's like, I figured out music was my purpose. Right. And it was like, how do I act on this? Cause that's where we got to talking about the fake followers.
Yeah, gotcha. That's where I went off on a rant.
But like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm posting and it's like, nothing's working. And it's like, once you figure out your purpose, there's a few different things you could do. If it's music, you really have three options. You can make satire, or you can have bread. You have bread, you're on. Or you can post every single day on TikTok and every single day on Instagram from 0 followers on both pages. It's inevitable if you think you're good, if you believe in yourself and you just post every day on TikTok, not every day, but post consistently. Don't stop posting your music or just different type of content ideas. Like, there's so many different dudes like Dax and that dude Connor who have these super, I think Dax might have copied the other dude Connor, but they have these super just creative ideas that they do with their music and shit like that. If you just do that, that's gonna work. But for me, it was like, I don't have the time to post every single day and do all that because I need bread, and I can't get bread without the time. So my thing was like, I just need to go get bread. So that's what I decided to do. I said, I'm done posting my music because I'm gonna come back with bread.
Yep.
I'm back with bread. I'll be posting music next year, like consistently for sure. I'm gonna start in the fall. But that's what I was kind of saying with finding your purpose and figuring out how to live in your purpose. Because now, once it comes back time for music, it's not about it won't be that much pressure. I'm not doing it to get on. I'm doing it because I love it. And I'm just putting money behind it. I'm going to the studio. I'm going to be just putting money behind it. But a lot of you guys, you want to be a musician. It's like, that's what I want to do. And it's like, I need to make money through this. There's nothing, because I don't believe in backup plans like when
I
it
don't
comes to
either.
what you're gonna do for your whole life. But when it comes to making bread right now, you need not a backup plan. You just need a plan that will coexist with what you want to do. A plan that will
Support.
bridge a
You need
supporting
support.
plan, right? So that's what I had to do, find a supporting plan. People thought I was just, ass, or I just didn't believe in myself in music. I'm like, no, I tried it. I see what's not working.
That's a really
It's
good
come back with
phrase.
bread.
Supporting plan is a really good phrase.
Yes.
That
Yes.
terminology, we need to keep that, because
Yes.
it's like
I don't believe in backup plans.
a lot of people think about it as a plan B, and that's the wrong way to look at it, because a plan B is an excuse to fail on your plan A, because
Yes.
those are two options. A support plan is, I'm going to have this job until this,
Bingo.
right? So it's like, so that's better. That's a really good, is that a phrase that's used?
What, supporting plan? No,
Yeah.
we did. I'm on the copywriting page now. Like, that's
Yeah.
ours. We
Okay.
got that.
Yeah. So a job is a support plan, but you have to make sure that you know what your actual plan and goal is, and find out where the exit door is on your support plan.
Yeah.
Always leave an exit for yourself so that you know when it's time to go, or you get trapped.
Don't get comfortable.
Don't get comfortable, and don't keep fucking your life up. Don't keep pushing yourself back. Don't keep buying shit you don't need. Don't go on dates. Don't fucking have kids with people you don't really like. Don't keep doing drugs. Like take that serious. Use this, again, support plan, your job, regular job, in order to stack, in order to propel the main plan forward. And then when you get out of your support plan and it doesn't need the support anymore, and the plan itself, the plan A can support itself, then you can start dipping and dabbling in all the little bullshit. But that's the thing.
And it's crazy how it's so many people that I know, and so many, like, even like people that I love, people I care about, who I have to, like, tell, like, I don't hate 9-to-5ers, because it's like, dude, I've been a 9-to-5er for the last, before the last 2 years, for like 3, 4, 5 years. Like, I was the 9-to-5er. I'm anti, I already said that in the last video, but I'm anti staying your 9-to-5 until you die, unless you aren't going to be complaining. The moment that you're complaining about your job, that's when I'm pissed at you. Because why are you complaining? Go, not to say that you can just quit today, but okay, what's your plan? If you're complaining about your job and you don't have a plan to leave, I'm not fucking with you.
Right. Exactly.
If you complain about that job, make sure you're about to get out. I mean, not to say you just can't ever say shit, but like, don't be saying, I hate my job, I'm depressed. And it's like, okay.
I have a rule with that. I have a rule with that, is you can vent to me.
Yeah.
Right. But if you come back to me every week and it's been a month and you're still bitching about the same thing, then shut the fuck up. I don't care anymore. You just want to bitch. I don't have time for your pity party. Figure it out. So me and you could figure it out if you want my help, but I'm not about to sit here and let you bring me down because you don't have your shit together. Yeah, it's been a month. Okay. I get that we all need to vent, but how about you stop being a bitch and do something for real? I don't care.
Yeah, because it's a thing to be said about, you want to, but it's like, I needed that, because sometimes you're venting and you're just hoping that someone would just give you the answer, or you're just hoping that someone would just fix your problem or whatever.
Well, that's like, again, so we can transition right into being a man. So that's something that I did as a kid, because a really deep line with me was my mother, and I talked about it here before, my mother wouldn't allow me to face the actual consequences of my actions. I would get close, but then she would save me. Excuse me. And that's a through line for my life. And you know what I ended up doing? And I didn't even realize I was doing it, is when shit got hard, I would like pout and like cry and be like, oh, my job is so if only I wouldn't be this obvious, but it'd be like, if only I had $200, and then they would give me $200. You know what I mean? But in ways like that. And then, but so that it kept, oh, I wish I could, whatever. And then they would save me. And then, the thing that I love about business is it taught, my mother could not save me, and she didn't want to, you know what I mean? Because like through this, she has been very supportive. Like, I will say, like, the house that I'm in is a house that our family owns, and she put me up. You know what I mean?
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and me going through this shit right now, my girlfriend has a job and she's been paying half the bills while I go through this. Listen.
Talking about half.
Yeah. So listen.
This girl, man, we're going to get to that.
But here's the thing. It's not that I'm insecure about that. It's that I'm take the help because the support system is there, right? Appreciate the help that it's there and an option, because I know some people don't have that option. Some people's parents don't have a house to put them up in.
Yeah.
Obviously. And that for a lot of people, me saying that's going to take away a lot of my validity because they're like, oh, his mom helped him. It's like, yes, my mom did help me. Right. But
you need that.
But if I was on my ass, I mean, your mom didn't help you at all.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'll talk about how she helps because it wasn't financially, but I think her not doing, I'll get into that, but her not doing what I wanted is exactly one of the reasons why I'm here too, I believe.
Right. So it's like, you know, she helped me. So now I still have the drive to, I am not okay with the fact that I live in a house my parent owns. Mm-hmm. I am not okay with that. And I think not being okay with that is the important distinction. I am not okay that my girlfriend is paying half the bills. I am not okay with that. I fucked up putting her in a position where she had to take that responsibility. That was me avoiding my own responsibility, and I pushed it on her. And that's a huge reason we almost didn't make it. Yeah. And I take that 100%. That's on me. Because when Bankrose was collapsing, I was like, you need to get a weekend job so I could keep doing the studio shit. When really I should have went and got a weekend job my damn self and then worked at the studio 4 days. That's what I should have done, but I didn't do that. You know what I mean? So that eats at your soul. That eats it as a man, that eats at your soul. You know, and there are people who say like, things should be 50-50, whatever, that's fine. If that's how you want to play it, if both, and because it's not even about man and women on a macro level, it's about in your household, you individually as a person, what drives you. And to me, me personally, I want to put my girl and my family in a position where she doesn't work unless she absolutely wants to, right? I want to be the person that supports her. I don't want her to ever have to support me. That's in me to do that. I don't want my parents to have to support me, and they are. But I'm taking the help because I know that it will be easier for me to get where I'm going faster with the help, as opposed to refusing the help. So it's like, and I go back and forth with this too. I actually don't have the answer for this because I go back and forth, where it's like, should I have not taken the help? But it's like I don't know what the right answer is between taking help from your parents and having a level of guilt or not taking it and suffering, right? Because neither of those are exactly correct.
I think it depends on the person, because I think you needed help, and I think I needed my mom to do what she did. Right. Like it depends on what walk your life.
I didn't ask for help either. They just did the shit. Right. So it's like one of those things. Not to
say you needed it, but like, you know, it probably came.
No, well, I fucking need it for sure. Well, here's the thing: is like you need it, but it's like there's levels to this shit, right? Because if they did not help me, then I would have been pushed so much farther back. But I will say this is like, here's the argument people make: if your mom didn't put you up in that house, you would not be here. And it's like, you don't know me. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here in 2023, but I would for shit show be here in 2025. It would just take me longer. Yeah. You know, but that's the thing is like, as you get pushed down, right, you just have to climb back up. And that's where the tenacity comes in. Because if I had to go all the way back to being a line cook, you bet your fucking ass I'd be hustling. Yeah. If I was back on my old mix factory schedule when I was an intern, weekend, Friday through Sunday, I actually went and I tried to get a job with my man's Quano. Shout out Quano. He owns truck routes. I quit 12 hours in, and the next day, it was delivering packages. I was like, fuck. And the entire time, I was like, why the fuck am I here? I'm an engineer. I'm better than this. I can do this. I don't need this, blah, blah, blah. And then I didn't even finish the shift. Like, and I obviously was like, you know, and because he was hooking me up, I quit. Shout out Quano for being understanding. That's my dog. But the next day, you know what I did the next day is I went and I DM'd those free clients to get them in the studio, because I'm like, I'm just not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And sometimes you need to be put back. You need to get humbled in that way to remember who the fuck you are and remember the consequences. Right. Yeah. And sometimes some people can take more consequences than others, right? But for me, getting that job was enough to push me forward. You know, my mom obviously put me in that house. My girlfriend is obviously working and she's helping, right? But the goal is still to get it to a point where she's not working, get it to a point where I can repay my parents, even though they don't want me to repay them back. You know what I mean? Like they're just helping me because they're my parents. And then I will do the same thing for my kids. I do not believe in 18 out of the house. I believe in, I don't care if you're 45, if you're trying, you always have a home where I am. Yeah. Flat out. I don't care. Like,
Exactly.
you know, and that's, and
Well, you got a plan. You got something.
and that's
you're trying to
something I think
do.
my parents did right. It's just that the problem comes with when you have that with your parents and you take advantage of that and you
You can
don't
get comfortable.
move forward, where you're like, well, I can live in this house till forever because it's my family's house, and then you're whatever. You know what I mean? So anyway, we could get off this point though.
No, I mean we're into what it takes to be a man, and we kind of opened it up really nicely there. And I mean, I wanted to share like because we had a very, I mean, it sound when you're saying everything, I know she's probably like, damn, like I'm dating the same guy, like what the fuck, like, but like that's kind of very very. I mean, everything happened the same way.
Yeah.
Like, I got into high ticket sales years ago, and I'm like, the thing is, I ran into bread like. Entrepreneurship didn't make the bread, like my sales career made the bread.
Right,
So
right,
it was
right.
like I was like very much so like let's stick with what works. And I even feel like she got to a point where let's stick with what works. Go get you that job, you know, and it's gonna work. And I understand that because we traveled off my sales career. I got dogs and engagement rings, and my sales career funded all these things.
Right.
You know, so it's like after once I realized I like sales, but I didn't like sales like the dark side. I didn't like sales the way that every other company wanted me to be. It's like they're watching my call recordings and they're saying, oh, you know, like I said, you don't stop until they buy or die. So if, you know, they're asking me, why didn't you push on that? Even this one job.
Why didn't they die?
Like,
why didn't you murder that lady in Tucson?
Dude, and I'm like, if you let me not let them die, you'll see me make way more follow-up deals. Like I couldn't sell for these guys because I'm like, you want me to just pressure them to buy today, but they're not going to buy tomorrow if you do that.
Right.
Because now you're making it so that it's now or never. And it doesn't have to be that way. Right. So that's how I do it now. The way, I mean, my payday came from, I mean, not my, just my, I mean, I've been doing so many different things, but one of my biggest paydays came from a client. It took 4 months.
Right.
But I mean, dude paid $70,000.
Right.
It took 4 months for him to finally, you know, I mean, not finally because dude, I mean,
well, yeah, finally listen, 4 months. That's like, you know, Rocky and Apollo Creed, bro.
But imagine like 4 months, you divide 70,000 by 4 months. I mean, it was worth it.
Right.
Know?
But
it was
but the thing about that is like, it's the same. It's the principle that got you that money. It's not, it's the principle of, I'm not going to pressure him. I'm going to explain everything he needs to know. I'm going to be very clear. I'm going to be concise. I'm going to make him understand what this value is and then sell him on it. And then when he does give me the money, I'm going to give him what he paid for. Exactly. The foundation of
and
that.
If I don't, we'll work something out. Like if things, I'm not, because it's like when you have a refund policy, that's why I just never have a refund policy. I'm just a good person. So I don't really usually have a refund policy. It's just like, oh, like, okay, how was your experience? You know, I'm just going to ask you at the end. Okay. You know, and I'm going to be meeting with you weekly. How is it? So you can't just lie at the end. Oh, it was terrible. But ABC, you said it was great. So I'm going to be checking in. We have weekly calls and shit.
I mean, you can vet those people out though pretty easily.
But that's exactly why I talk about repelling the wrong people. Yeah. Because if you get the wrong person, if you fake like something else, like if let's say we both just fake like we were just diehard Democrats or Republicans, I don't think we're both on either side of that spectrum. No, but if we try to just attract extremists that are on either side, we're gonna hate our lives once they get in here because that's not us.
Do you like freedom?
Or we just
you love freedom?
We just stopped cursing. Like some people don't like a vanilla podcast, you know, and I don't like anything vanilla where it's just like we're not allowed to curse. You know, it's natural. Like I don't just swear all the damn time, but it's like, I mean, I just like to be myself.
I am not. Again, it's the principle of living in truth, and I am not going to be a dumbed down version of myself for anybody for any reason. We live in the best period of time to monetize your personality.
Yes.
And so it's like, if you don't like me, go watch someone else. That's fine.
Prime example, man. Yeah. Prime example is Sexy Red, bro. I've been kind of bitching about this all weekend, and I feel like I've just come to terms with, okay, we are in that phase of personality selling. Do you know who Sexy Red is? And it's like, I'm not gonna say it annoys me because that sounds like a hater, but it's just like when I saw Drake bought her the chain.
I didn't even see that.
Drake bought her a chain, and I was just like, I'm not mad. I was just like, why? But let me not say that because, you know, I will say that she has been very, very consistent. She's been putting in the reps. I can't, because I started looking into it just to
I don't know one Sexy Red song. I honestly,
you know, the booty hole brown song. She talked about her booty hole being brown.
Yeah, so I avoid listen, I avoid shit. I just avoid shit that, like, because she doesn't make music for me.
Exactly. And that's what I have.
I'm not in the club. I'm not in the club. Yep. I'm not trying to party. I'm not a girl. I mean, really, it's like girl shit, really. And the guys that like it, they only like it so that they can get familiar with the shit that the bitches fuck with right now so they could talk about it the fuck.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Bro, you
so
hip.
So it's like that she doesn't make music for me, so I don't pay attention to that. Now, I should pay attention to that and I will pay more attention, but where my life is right now, like there is a level of research that a big flaw of mine personally is not paying enough attention to things happening, but my life is what my life is right now, and obviously I will when it comes down to it. But that's not, I'm not a consumer of that in that way. Like, because Drake giving her a chain now is fucking news, and it's like, okay, so let's be distracted by Drake giving Sexy Red a chain for 3 days so we can not be productive. That's the way I look at that. I don't give a fuck what Sexy Red got going on, quite frankly. I have a general interest based on market dynamics,
right?
And I have a general interest in her music based on the ABC of what made her pop.
Right, exactly.
Right, but I don't give a shit about
context to you.
Yeah, but I don't give a shit about like, who she is necessarily in that way, or I'm not a fan. I'm not listening to it. And it's like but here's the thing is like, I don't like what I heard. I didn't like, but it's not because she's bad. It's because it's not for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing about markets too, is like, and especially with music, man, it's like, you have to understand that 99%, okay, everyone says that weak shit is what's going up. It's not weak shit. It's just not for you.
Yeah.
All that says is you're in a market.
What's going up is consistent shit. What's going up is shit that is actually them. Like I'm not gonna name drop people who I might, who might not be for me, because that's not right. But when I look at people who I don't like their music and I see them popping off, and you have that gut feeling, it's like, bro, what the fuck is I'm hard? And it's like, they're tapping into their target audience. That's what's going on. Like, these people in their comments aren't just stupid. They like that. So like, get out of there if that's not what you like, and go make your own. Because that's me talking to myself at the same time.
We need to do this on our own time, maybe in a couple months down the road. Again, this is all when my bag is right dependent, and I want to use this for YouTube content anyway, but I want to go and backtrack all of the people that have blown up and figure out what their narrative is and figure out what their viral moment was. Someone like Blueface, or someone like Crip Mac. He's not really a rapper. Or someone like Sexy Red, or these personalities, even going back to like Boot Gang. Like, I want to see 6ix9ine, obviously, is an example. That's a narrative.
It's usually just negativity. I mean, that's the when you named all of them, it's all negativity. That's what makes them go up. 6ix9ine negativity, Blueface negativity,
right? But
Gang,
here's the thing: I want to understand that
people love negativity.
Of course, well, negativity is louder than positivity.
Yeah.
It just is, because people are infatuated. People are designed for that. People are primed.
People like being victims too, and they like being mad. People love being mad.
Well, it's not even that. It's that. And I mean, they do to a certain extent, but it's like from an evolutionary standpoint, it's much more important to pay attention to bad shit.
It is
based on your survival.
You are correct.
Like, you're wired in that way. Like with that car crash when I was driving home last week, it's like, yeah, I'm staring at that motherfucker, but we're wired for that. We're wired for negativity. We're wired for drama.
What happened? You know?
Right? Because you kind of want to make sure that you understand, so you don't get sucked into it. Like,
right, so it doesn't happen to you.
So it doesn't happen to you.
Whenever I see somebody die and they're under 25, I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
No, seriously, like, what happened?
I was just talking about that on Kid L, where Tupac, I'm 32. I'm 7 years older than Tupac was when he died. I think we talked about it on this podcast too. And I'm like, wow, like, he was so prolific at that age.
No. I found out he was that young recently. My mom was a diehard Tupac fan. And I found out he was like 25. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Fuck.
That dude was some shit,
right?
Dude.
So, but Tupac is someone that we need to say, because then it's like, there's a rubric that I have in my mind for like kind of mapping out like viral element with media at the time, with narrative. Like, and that narrative could be the short-term narrative and the long-term narrative, right? Because Blueface is still on a run because his narrative went from,
well, now he's gonna run because of Krishan, bro. That's the only reason he's still around.
Well, look,
seriously,
listen. It's like he is staying relevant. He's staying relevant, and so his name is still in the ecosystem, and he's not even dropping records. So when he does drop a record,
it's just no one knows about him, but he is. The only thing he gets attention for is his relationship. But he just dropped another song, like Just a Little Baby, like no one hears it. It's like,
right. Well, I actually want to go in and see how much that actually works, because they might have their tactic and it doesn't work or whatever. But anyway, all of those things matter, because the thing about this is, like, all of these narratives, generally speaking, are calculated, thought out. They're stories written by publicists, right? Basically,
I personally believe all those, like, Nicki Minaj beefing with all these girls and all this shit, I feel like that shit's all fake, and they're all friends. I'm like, because if they're not, you guys are too fucking old to be doing this. Like, you guys are beefing about what? Like,
Yeah, it's just
Grow the fuck
manipulating the
up.
mass.
But
It's creating drama.
the
It's like,
Barb's, it's like the Beehive and all these people. It's like y'all be really like rooting for battles that y'all have.
well,
It's not
listen,
even a real thing.
we should have learned our lesson because there's a good argument to be made that Biggie and Tupac died not because of the gang shit, but because of the media,
Yeah,
because
because of
they polarized the
yes.
nation
Yeah,
against both of them because they amplified it and obviously Biggie and Pac had their parts to play in that, but that was something that could have been squashed.
fuck Joe.
Yeah, right. That's I'm not right. So it's like, but it's like it's really polarizing people against each other, and then maybe they even fell into the lie. Maybe not the lie, but they fell into something that could have
was
been
doing ballet and shit. So
huh?
He was doing ballet.
Biggie?
And shit. No, Tupac.
I'm imagining Biggie doing ballet.
I think it's even crazier to think about Tupac doing ballet, but he did.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa, he was in leotards and shit.
Yeah, well, our paths are the paths we walk.
I'm not mad at it. It's just funny when
I
found out, I was
it.
just like, wow, okay.
I'm mad at it.
But I mean, I did want to. I'm not sure if you got to see before we end because we got to get you out of here. You said 1:30, right?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I want to get to our last topic, which is probably gonna have to continue off the next week that we get to meet. But did you get to see that video that Tyler Perry was kind of talking about women paying the bills and shit like that?
I did not.
I wanted to be able to. I was trying to find it while we were sitting here, but I don't want to keep you too long. I wanted to try to find that. I was looking for it, but I didn't want to look like you were boring. But I wanted to find it. Because he was basically kind of in a sense. Well, Beck, did you saw that video? I don't know you saw that video, right? Wow, and you're on social media, jeez. But he was basically kind of talking about, and everybody took it a different way, talking about, it almost, some people took it as he was telling women to settle. Some men took it and they got offended because it was like a weird argument. But I mean, I won't go over it since neither of you have saw it, and I don't like kind of pull it up. But like the kind of like the baseline thing I wanted to ask, and kind of for you, do you feel like you can be a good man to your wife? Like you can be a great man to your wife, or to your women without having any money, without being able to provide or being able to support? Do you feel like you could be a good man to her?
Me personally, no. I think maybe there's a relationship dynamic where that can work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, now it's getting deep into like what's best for society. And it's like feminine men and masculine women and that type of shit, where the general rule that I have is, I mean, I take a very aggressive, a very, very conservative stance on the purpose of marriage. And I think the purpose of marriage is to raise children. Mm-hmm. And I know everyone's I'm going to just say it outright right now, because people are going to think that when I say that, that implies I don't believe in gay marriage. I am for gay marriage, but I just believe the purpose of a marriage conventionally is the rearing of children, right? Mm-hmm. So the question becomes, what's better for the children when there's children there?
If you have that ideology.
Right.
Because it's a pretty rare one.
What?
That, not a rare one, but it's just
that marriage is for children.
Most people believe, I mean, because when it's for children, that's how you end up unhappy for the rest of your life if it's just for children, because once they get old and move out of the house, now you're stuck with someone you don't like. So that's when it's like,
no, you have to like the person.
Well, okay. Well,
for sure.
Yeah. But when you say it's for children, then it's like, that's why, when a lot of couples therapists talk about, you can't just base this relationship on the children, because once they're gone, you won't have one.
No. That's putting all of your energy and purpose and function in your identity into raising the children. That doesn't, the function, like if you want to think of marriage as the idea of it is to have masculine and feminine traits, both raising children so they get both traits.
I love the idea was to your love. I thought the idea was to.
I don't believe. I don't believe in that, and I'm very much in the minority on that. I've come to realize, but that I love the girl I'm with, but I will tell you right now, through the bullshit that we had, if I didn't make that commitment to her, and if I didn't have that mindset that it's for the children, I would have been gone. Because of the amount of pressure that got put on our relationship. And there were times where I was a foot out the door, and I thank God that she had the foresight to reel me back in, because I was like really ready to just move the fuck out. I had a moment of weakness and I fucked up, and she reeled me back in, and I'm forever grateful for her, because I almost made a mistake that destroyed my family by leaving the house. Right? Like, so back to the question. Can a man making zero money?
Can a man that's not making enough money to actually help with any bills, can that man be a good man to his woman?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on if you're living together, if she is the breadwinner, you know what I mean? If he wants to stay at home and I mean, he's going to have to stay at home and fulfill the home obligations.
Bingo.
He's going to have to take on generally feminine responsibilities in that sense.
Exactly.
But it's like, you know, I am sort of for the idea of like dispense with masculine, feminine responsibilities and just it's about sharing the duties, because there's an argument with the red pill shit where it's like, you got to be a man and go out there and make all the money. Right. But it's like, and it's like, that's not necessarily true. It's just there are things that need to be done. There are responsibilities. There are household responsibilities, like the classic cooking, cleaning, dishes, all that shit. And then there has to be money made, right? And so it's like, well, someone's got to make the money. Someone's got to take the housework. I will say this: I believe that only one person should work and only one person should upkeep the house. I believe in that.
I believe in marriage. That I like that in marriage.
Right.
Yeah.
Are we talking about marriage specifically?
Yeah,
or are we talking?
Well, because I was thinking of doing that with a girlfriend and boyfriend. I feel like it gets weird because, you know, no one's, you know, it's not as much security as a marriage. So you're scared.
Yeah, well, 100%. I mean, if it's just boyfriend, girlfriend, like in the situation you guys have right now, I mean, both of you can go get a bag, rack up. You know what I mean? But it's like, so it's like, it depends on who you are as a person, right? And it depends on who you're comfortable with. And it depends on what gives her fulfillment.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now there's a big argument to be made about, well, you know, if she gets pregnant and women are more tilted towards being mothers and there's a biological factors in play and that type of shit. Like, I don't have data on that. You know what I mean? Like, that's when you have to get into like data and, you know, social, you know, what would it be? Like, I guess, I don't know, whatever. So it's like, from a data perspective, I don't know if what I said is correct, but my general rule is if both of you are together and both of you understand that you have responsibilities and those responsibilities are met, it doesn't matter who does them. As long as the things that need to be done are being done.
Right.
You know, and it's like, yeah, there are, and again, this can get deep. This can get very deep, but it's like that's the purpose of gender roles conventionally, is that without speaking, like, woman stays at home, rears the children, takes care of the house. Man has an obligation to go out and make money. That was conventionally what it was. And those gender roles existed so that both people knew what to do when they had kids and had a family, right? There's a social responsibility for a man to make money. There's a social responsibility for a woman to take care of the kids and take care of the house. Now, dynamics of that are changing, which is why everything is all fucked up all the time, right? Because it's like
everybody's like, because now I feel like a lot of like, it's a subconscious thing, but I mean, you hear this independence with the women so much, and then it's like we keep hearing like the Tyler Perry interview dropped that men need to do this, men need to do that, and it's like I feel like, you know, there are some men who are like, what the fuck, you know? Okay, you're so damn independent, but it's just like a weird thing. Right. It's like, what the hell? But now, from what you were saying, you know, I asked you that, and earlier this year, I didn't believe that, which is why I was so hell bent on getting the bread, because I was just like, I'm nothing without the bread. But, you know, like I said, we had a rough patch too. And it wouldn't have been like that if, like I said, basically, to not even go all in the detail, like I mentioned, I've been going all on business. I stopped working jobs. Like the last job I had was this valet job, and I had keys thrown at me twice, and I had tips thrown on the floor twice. And I got locked in a Tesla. I pull up this guy, I'm giving him his Tesla. I've never been in a Tesla before. I'm like, how do I get out? He just arms crossed. I'm like, I'm trying to get out of your car. He's just like,
look at this poor.
I'm like, wow, it's like I don't have a Tesla, so I'm stupid. But like, dude, that was just like, I was just like, no, I need to go get bread the way I know how and the way I know it can make. Right. And it's like, it could have worked because like I said, like you did, and like I did also, I put you in the masculine role. Now you're making the bread. So it's like, it could have not been that bad if I took on those, not feminine responsibilities, but the responsibilities that she was fulfilling. So cleaning at home, which I wasn't doing, you know, or, you know, taking the dog out regularly, washing my ass some days because I was so damn depressed. I couldn't get out of bed. So it was like those things that made shit harder. And it's like, you know, I just feel like I need to just work on my thing, but that goes back to your spoon thing. Now it's like, okay, I got to go take a break because to feel I need to do emotional shit, you know, do the shit that women need as well. And they can hold you down, but it's like, it's hard for women to hold you down if you're, you know, looking like a piece of shit and you're not doing anything, you know. It's like, what the fuck are you here for?
And again, it's like, this is again, and I'll always go back to this is the running theme through everything and through my life. Be the best version of yourself. Okay. And so whatever you have and whatever your goals are and whatever you tilt towards, you know, personality and interest and otherwise. It's like find a person that complements you,
Yeah.
you know, in that sense. And again, relationships are the hardest fucking thing
In the world.
in the world. It's not easy. People think that here's where people really fuck up is that they meet someone and then things go south and they have arguments and they're going through a rough patch and the conclusion they come to is this person is not for me. Right? We're just a bad match. The second that's in your head is the second you're fucked. And this is why I think
matches.
Marriage is for the children. It's like this idea that, listen, you can make shit work. You can make shit work with somebody, and it's not love first. For me, like I equate respect to love when she's talking to me.
Men need respect. Yeah.
She personally equates affection to love, right? So that's not an uncommon thing.
Yeah.
So again, it's like if you're a man, but you need affection, right? Then find a woman who gives you affection. I'm not like that.
Me.
I am not like that. Listen, like I will come home. I've accidentally trained my girlfriend to not be affectionate towards me.
Oh my God.
Listen,
bro.
I've accidentally trained my girlfriend to not be affectionate toward me, but it makes her happy to be affectionate because I'm not affectionate. I have to remember, listen, I swear to God, I have to remember to tell people I love them. Like I have to actively try. Like when I leave the house, I'm like, oh yeah, I love you.
I'm only affectionate with her though. Like with family, I'm always trying to give terrible hugs, and I don't, I'm not. That, I only can do it with one person. I don't like people seeing that.
But it's you have to take what this person is giving you and what they're actually saying, because here's the problem that I had personally, and I'm sure a lot of people across the board have it. Your partner says something to you, and then it gets filtered through your bullshit lens, and you don't even hear what the fuck they just said. You heard what you wanted to hear. So you got to actually hear what they're saying. And look, I'm not saying this is easy. And again, I just said, like, we almost didn't make it. So it's from an individual level first. And here's another thing. And I fell down this route too, is if your relationship is not working, don't go out into the external world to find a solution.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's the same thing.
Just talking about this.
It's the same thing for everything else, because then you get into the, well, I'm a man.
Yeah.
Well, you're a woman. Well, whatever. You need to figure that out between the two of you.
What y'all agree on.
What y'all are agreeing on.
In shade room comments trying to argue.
Yeah.
Y'all have your own shit. Don't let anybody change y'all.
Right. And then again, it's like, that's why it's important to have the same morals and virtues.
Yes.
Right.
Something y'all can agree on.
Even beyond interest. Listen, like there are some things me and Bianca, that's her name. Me and Bianca have interest. We have some similar interests, but not fucking really. But we have similar like values. And what really shook shit up was when I got fucked up financially, which cascaded everything. And then I couldn't see through the fog of my life. I couldn't identify if her values were the same values anymore. Right.
Literally the same.
Right. So that's why. So I literally had a conversation with the other day where I'm like, is the goal still you being at home with these kids and I make all the money? I just blatantly asked that. And she said, yes. And I'm like, okay, good. So we're both on the same page. The problem becomes when it gets so foggy and people want to bail out, and people do change. And that's the thing, is like, you have to adapt. Like I sent her a text because that's how we communicate sometimes when shit gets too hot. I sent her a text and I was like, I have realized that I'm being too tyrannical with you. I want you to be this way. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I've been forcing you this way. Whatever you want to do, I will support you, even though it goes against my instincts, something to that effect. And so it's like, there are certain things that if it was a perfect world where I could snap my fingers and say, this is what I want it to be, right? It would be her at home taking care of the kids, cooking, cleaning, doing all that shit, and me making $20,000 a month, coming home and still having time with my kids. That's perfect world. Beautiful. Right? But if she doesn't want to do that anymore, or when our kids are in school and she has time and she wants to pursue interests, then I will not even that I will allow her to do it. It's that I will back down and won't make it a problem, even though it's not my perfect world, because you have to understand that when two people are coming together, you're sharing a world. And when you're sharing a world, it's not going to be perfect for either of you. That's why it's compromise. right? And it's tough. I mean, the original question, I know the original. I'm whatever. But do you have more questions?
No,
Okay,
because
good.
you got to wrap up and get out of here. I
Oh,
do. I
gotcha.
mean, we're gonna have to do a part 2 of this episode just because
Okay.
you got your heart, you got your heart cut off. But I
Yeah.
mean,
But these things are very difficult to navigate. But again, it's
yeah,
like that was the function of gender roles
yeah,
was everyone knew where they stood, and that made things easier. But if we're gonna break down all of these things, we have to realign them and then refigure them out again. But it takes place on an individual level. Don't go out there and try to fucking tell all women or try to tell all men what to do just because some asshole broke your heart or whatever.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's the temptation to do that is very much there. Like you have
Everybody does it.
you have extreme feminists who are like all men are oppressors, and then you have extreme like red pill dudes who are like all women are whores. And it's like neither of those are correct. So it's like when you get into the lock in with the person that you're going to lock in with, then focus on them. Like, don't focus on the world and the dynamics of the world. Focus on their values.
Whose nigga bought her flowers and who is doing this, and you looking at them and they got you mad, and someone else got a car. It's like, okay, but look at what your partner is doing for you in the capacity of which they can. Okay, he didn't buy you a car, but how much is in his fucking bank account? Okay, he's not there yet. Give him some time.
Well, it's like as a man, like I would advise you, unless you have a fuckload of money, don't get with a girl who prioritizes money in that way, because there is a love language that is gifts. And if you can't, there are girls that you just simply can't afford. Flat the fuck out. So if you want those girls, figure out a way to afford those girls. But don't sit here and say all women are materialistic whores because you're broke.
Yeah, there's so many women who aren't.
Right, because there are so many women that aren't. It's like, and people always make these blanket statements like women these days, girls these days are all whores. And it's like, not all.
The girls that you have crossed in your pitiful life have been that way. Sure.
All of the girls are whores because you're out partying all the time. If you're not going to church.
Because think about how many good girls there are. And if you've only been attracting girls that have been bad for you, because I had to look in the mirror like, what am I? You attract what you kind of are in a way.
No, 100% you do.
But I don't want to, like I said, I know you have to get out, man. We're gonna do an episode. I think this is 5 or 6. We're gonna do episode 5 or 6 part 2, because like
5.5.
We ain't even jump into the honeymoon phase of entrepreneurship, bro. So maybe I lied a little bit at the beginning. Maybe I didn't. I mean, we're still gonna give it to you guys one day, and probably gonna be the episode after next, because the episode next week you guys are gonna get to see Artistry by Anita sit down.
Should we? I'm sorry, I don't mean. I just cut off the whole ad. Should we like start pacing this better, or do we like the free flow way that we're doing this? And by we, I mean me rambling.
I mean, that's a conversation for after, probably. I mean, I guess I could say I was actually thinking of bringing the TV here, because I have a timer and I know how long each segment is supposed to last. But the thing is, you don't. So I need to get something so you can see, because I don't have a thing to be like, stop talking.
Right.
So I was looking for this morning for like this, like I was going to call it our ADHD alarm. It was going to be like this siren that she could press. It doesn't make sound, but it flashes.
No, we should incorporate that. We should make her hit the stop.
No, that's what that's going to be one of her tasks for sure. Like just, but this, we were supposed to get through everything. Everything had its own time, but it's like, I just kind of went with the flow and we started late. But yeah, I mean, we were definitely going to do a part 2, and we're, I love the way, I mean, it was great. We just have to, have her, reel you in, or maybe you could bring Bianca and she reels you in.
Do I want to be reeled in though? Do I want to be tamed? I'm a wild stallion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're gonna try that out. I'm gonna probably try to get a TV or siren or something. I don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry. Finish your outro. I'm sorry I cut you off midway too.
No, you're good. You're good. Next week we're gonna have, because you actually won't be here Thursday, and instead she's gonna be here, and we're gonna talk about Artistry by Anita.
Let's go.
She also was one of our new hires to Preme Consulting and Preme Media, doing graphic design, video editing, everything I mentioned earlier, photography, all that good stuff. Just showing us what new. Oh yeah. She's been like that's kind of been her job, right? But yeah,
Mm.
it's been we've been trying to juggle things. But now again, this is my second time. I thought I retired her one time. This is my second time trying to retire her from jobs, and we're gonna make sure things. That was another thing. Just I know we wrapping up here, but yeah, like when I was talking about all that shit, like I literally told her to quit her job, and she did, and then
Yeah.
shit hit the fucking fan. So it was
Yeah.
like, well, damn, like you did trust me, and then fuck. So it's like this time we're gonna make it work because we're gonna actually work and not cry every day. But
Yes.
we're next week. We're gonna next week.
Be like that.
No, like I
Hey.
said, we're gonna get real. Next week, we're
Hey.
gonna sit down with her, talk about what's coming new with her working with us and all these good things, and how she's gonna be integrated here. We're gonna be doing we're gonna be doing 1 or 2 free music video shoots very very soon.
Dope.
After we shoot mine, run, go crazy with that, show you guys what the hell we got going, and then you guys are gonna want to work with us. Then we're gonna shoot a free one, and after that one, a free one, then floodgates are open. Then you guys can book with us and do shit like that.
Book.
Next week, we're gonna be sitting down with Artistry by Nita, talking about priorities, limiting beliefs, accountability, more. If you haven't, make sure you guys subscribe to us on YouTube. Video episodes will drop every Saturday. So follow us on Apple Podcasts. We'll be dropping the audio versions every Friday. We'll be going live every time we shoot an episode. Sometimes we shoot 2 a week if we have a guest. Sometimes it's just 1. But again, you guys can follow us on Instagram at the Preme Pod. Follow Rose at Rose the Engineer. Follow me at Jace Preme, the Preme Pod, Preme Consulting, Preme Media with a 3. You can guess where the 3 is. It's one of the E's. You guys can just guess. But we'll be back. You guys, if you guys enjoyed this, please share it. Please, post on your story once we drop the reels and all that shit. And yeah, I think that was good. You're 1:30. We're good. We did that.
Yeah. Okay, I have to pee before I pee my pants.